Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hits and Picks, Season 3,
That's right.
Season 3, Week 10,
Oh, yeah.
episode 52?
52, I think.
52.
Yeah. 52 on the all-time overall records that we have here.
Just the duo back.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys can see, we cut the fat on the pod. We got rid of the people that were bogging us down, and now it's just the boys over here. How the hell are you, pal?
I'm good. Record's not too good, but I'm going to try to get that up this week.
Yeah, speaking of records, we'll do a record check really early here. I know it's been a couple weeks since we've had the full 5-5 records for the squad. So we will just start. Our fearless leader, Ty, is in the lead. He's 51-40 with 4 pushes on the year thus far. I am in second place with a record of 47-45 with 3 pushes. And Brady is close behind at 46-49. So the boys are battling, dude. We're all very, very close. Me and Ty are over 500. You're not far from it. We need to have a strong next couple weeks because this is normally when I fall apart.
I was a good 10 games up, and then past 2 weeks I just fell apart. Went 3-7 both weeks. I just couldn't get any win.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting frustrated because I feel like I know ball, and then I just don't know ball when it comes to gambling.
It's tough. It's the system is set up for you to lose. You just got to pick and choose the good games, which honestly, you shouldn't bet all 10. You should just pick a few at a time that you're sure about and go with those.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, man. So, start with college football. West Virginia. Is there anything you would like to say on the state of the Mountaineers?
I'm happy. We put it to UCF.
We fucked them up in the bounce house, baby.
We did. We ran all over them. I was nervous at one point when Green tweaked his ankle for a second.
Sames.
I was hoping he wasn't gonna. I was hoping it wasn't gonna be like the Pitt game where he goes out and Nico has to come in. But the one thing I hated about that game was when Nico got in, the play they ran. Do you remember that?
So to be completely honest with you, I didn't get to sit down and watch the entire game. First half, I was mostly listening and was walking back and forth, and I probably saw the fourth quarter of the rest of the game. So I don't think so. But I'm sure it was something stupid like a dumbass trick play.
Okay, so Nico comes in, 1, maybe 2 plays. This is the first play. It's a swing pass. Or no, it's I think it's a pass to, it's like a screen, wide receiver screen. He catches it, starts to run back, and then as he's running back towards the quarterback, he pitches it to the running back that's coming up the field.
Okay.
And it's not a great pitch. He should have had it still, and he fumbled it. But the players they had do it hadn't played all game, and they've barely had any touches the last few weeks at all.
Thought process is wild when your starting quarterback goes out, then you decide to run trick plays with backups in.
Yeah, it's crazy. You normally want to give your quarterback just an easy 5-yard gain.
Yep.
Just an easy pass. But that was the only gripe I had about that game. Everything else was really good. Got one really lucky interception. You didn't see that, did you?
Yeah, the kick up,
the
early one.
That was a gift.
I was able to see that one, actually. I was watching the TV. That's one of those ones where you're just like, whoa.
Yeah. John Reese Plumlee, he had a bad game, 3 picks. I don't think he's 100%.
No, he's not.
Because he normally uses his legs a lot, and he hasn't been able to do that since he came back from his injury.
He's a dog. When he's healthy, he's a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's my update on WVU fans. I heard a new one this week, and it kind of seems like we're making every single excuse in the book when we win. it's weird that we're not happy that we won. Instead, we're putting the asterisk on saying, yeah, we won, but we beat a bad team. Like, WVU fans fucking amaze me, bro.
Which they just took Oklahoma at Oklahoma to like the end of the game. They just missed a 2-point conversion to tie it. Like, they're a good team. We were dogs by 7.
7, dude. WVU fans will never cease to amaze me.
No, most of them and the WVU like writers were picking us to lose. I didn't understand that.
Well, dude, we know why they're doing it, which is it's disgusting at this point. We're literally sitting at 5-3. We have a legitimate chance of finishing 8-4, and we have a legitimate chance of finishing 9-3.
Wait.
Like, it's crazy. And all we have to hear every week is, oh, the offense did this. Oh, the offense did that. It's like, yeah, hey, everybody's blaming the offense because that's the part that Neil Brown's in charge of. Maybe let's start blaming Jordan Leslie and the defense. Now, again, Jake, Neil Brown's the head coach. I get it. But, like, there's other parts of ball that we can blame it on, and it's weird that we're focusing on the one that Neil Brown has the most control over. People need to get over it, dude. I'm over this shit. Like, let's root for our coach that we have now that is figuring out how to win games. Then, when or if he gets fired or moved on, then you start cheering for the next coach. I never ever remember in my WVU fandom anybody ever rooting against Bill Stewart or anybody ever rooting against Dana Holgerson, and now all of a sudden everybody's just rooting against Neil Brown. I'm over it.
Which, I got bad news. Neil Brown's back next year.
100% he's back next
his
year.
His buyout's high. They're not going to buy him out. This season so far has been a huge success in my book.
We already hit the over-under in our wins.
Yeah.
4.5.
We're going to crush it. Like, we're a good team. There was one play, that Hail Mary, that everyone just jumped off the train.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like that.
A freak play that happens, probably 5% chance. It normally happens. Yes, it happened against WVU. Yes, I know our luck's terrible. I think, and this is going to sound weird, but like West Virginia sports are at their finest when the fans are behind them. And when you have a fan base that is so divided on a coach, you know the players see that shit. Like, we gotta all be united in this fight here and realize that we have a good chance of finishing 8-4, good chance of finishing 9-3, and next year we're set up to where we'll have 7 home games. So we'll have 7 home games and 5 away games. Let's keep Neil Brown. Let's keep the players there. I think we're on the right direction, and let's trust the climb.
Big 12 contenders next year, honestly.
Yeah.
And, like, I know people want him out, but if you're looking at our roster next year, how we're playing now, he's staying after next year too, unless something drastic happens. Like, he's going to do good next year.
I agree.
Just accept it.
Just
get behind him.
Power through.
He's gone through all this, and he hasn't been a bitch about it. He hasn't called anyone out, said the fans are awful.
Do you know how easy it would be for him to just, like, jump off the boat and just start ripping players, ripping fans? He hasn't. He's been loyal this whole time, and I think he deserves our respect at this point. We can just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's all. I love how the game went. Love how they called the offense. I fucked up my parlay, though, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah. But, yeah, we'll be in attendance this week. BYU, look for us on TV. Row 2, Section 128. The boys will be wild, dude. The Mormons are storming Morgantown, brother.
Storming and soaking.
God, we're going to be soaking our dicks off, bro. All right, dude. So this is week
10 of college.
Week 10, we got our 5 games here. Pretty good slate. If you ask me. We'll start with the first game. 2 Big 12 teams that we do not have to play this year. Number 23, Kansas State. The Wildcats roll into Austin. They will be facing the number 7 Texas Longhorns. The Longhorns are favored at home by 4. and the over-under is 50.5. Brady, what's your fucking pick, dude?
If Quinn was playing, I'm tempted to take Texas, but it's going to be Malik Murphy. Is that his name?
Honestly, I have no idea because I was completely under the assumption that Arch Manning was playing last week, and he just didn't. So I don't know.
I'm going to take Kansas State. I like their team. I guess Will Howard's back at quarterback because they were kind of switching off a good bit. They got good running backs, and they're tough out. I think they're actually going to win this game.
Well, I'm right there with you, pal.
Didn't work for us last week.
Yeah, didn't work for us last week. I have Kansas State and the points solely just because Quinn's not playing. Not saying Texas won't win, but I could see this being a field goal game. So I will be taking the Wildcats +4. Next, we move on, dude. Rivalry game. Bedlam, the Battle of Bedlam, whatever the hell it's called. Oklahoma, number 9, at Oklahoma State, number 22.
Neutral site?
I don't think so.
Which, I mean, probably doesn't matter in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oklahoma is favored by 6. We'll just assume on the road, but they're favored by 6, and the over-under is 61.5. I can just start here because I know right off the head what I'm taking. I will be taking the Cowboys +6 at home. I think Oklahoma has trouble with their defense is terrible. And I think Oklahoma State has a better defense than Oklahoma. And I think Oklahoma State's running back could possibly score 4 touchdowns this game. So I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, the game is in Stillwater. I'm going to take the Cowboys, too. I don't know how you favor Oklahoma by 6 on the road against a team that's hot, and Oklahoma almost just lost to UCF.
Almost lost to UCF, and then they lose to Kansas.
Oh, they did just lose to Kansas. Yeah. Oklahoma State. I think that's going to be a very popular play this week.
I agree. We might actually, we're making that one of our 5-5 games. Cool with that?
What?
Or not 5-5, big hitter games.
I like that. Big hitter.
All right. So we'll do that one for big hitter. All right. Next week. Next game, Washington, number 5, is heading to USC, which is ranked number 20. Washington is favored by 3.5, and the over-under is 76.5. And I'm going to let you go first because I know you feel strongly about one of these teams.
This is like an over game, but it's 76.5. So, it won't take many stops to get that. I'm going to stay away from that. Give me Washington -3.5. There's just nothing I trust about USC.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
All.
I know you hate USC.
Rightfully
Rightfully so.
Is Lincoln Riley a good coach?
No, he's not. Lincoln Riley. Here's my opinion on Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley inherited a powerhouse of Oklahoma with the man Bob Stoops, who created a culture there. Lincoln Riley inherited that, was able to embrace that, bring players in, and was, successful in terms of wins and losses at Oklahoma. I think him going to USC, a prominent school, used to be highly rated in football, but these last couple years, really maybe more than couple years, they've sucked. And again, it's only his first season, right? First or second season.
Second.
So I got to give him some credit there. But I just figured with Caleb Williams, they would have been a lot better this year.
I think Lincoln Riley is one of the great offensive coordinators.
For sure.
Head coach, I don't think he's it. After last year, he should have known I need to go out and get defensive players.
Yeah. But also, dude, shout out him for taking the USC deal for his private jet that he can take anywhere else.
Yeah,
I'll give him that one.
That's a boss move.
So I'm actually going to take, I know this is crazy, I'm going to take the under 76.5 because I don't know how well USC struggled to score last week, and Washington definitely has a way better defense, and I think it was like Arizona or whoever it was last week that USC was getting the shit kicked out of them and then somehow figured out the way to win.
What was it? Was that one was 50-49, right?
Yeah, but they were getting smashed.
Yeah. Didn't they go for? Did they? No, they played Cal.
Cal, that's who it was. Cal.
And Cal's not very good.
Cal's terrible.
Yeah, they have a good running back.
And Washington's definitely going to have a way better defense than Cal did.
Washington should put up at least 40 this game.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna make the argument here. Washington should be ranked number 4. There's no way Florida State should be ranked ahead of Washington. Washington has played way better teams than Florida State has played, and they have way bigger wins than Florida State has played. Just gonna leave it at that. So I'm gonna take the under 76.5 here. Okay, dude, you can do the next one.
Next game, number 14, LSU at number 8, Alabama. Bama's favored by 3. Over-under is 60.5. I like Jaden Daniels. He can put up points, but I don't know against Alabama's defense. I'm going to take under 60.5.
Yeah, this is the Saban Bowl. So he's won national championships with both of these teams.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
I'm gonna stick with Bama here. 3 points isn't a lot. Truthfully, I haven't watched LSU much other than Florida State. I guess for some reason I thought they were pretty bad, but to see them ranked at 14 proves me otherwise here.
They're another team that has a great offense, bad defense.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ride with my guy, Nick Saban here, and I'm gonna be taking the Tide and the points -3. So shout out Roll Damn Tide. Last game in the college docket here. We got Notre Dame, number 15, heading to Death Valley. Clemson, a team that's struggling at 4-4. Notre Dame's only favored by 3 here, and the over-under is 44.5. Brady, what's your thoughts?
Both these, I'm not confident in either team. I don't think either of them are that good. Notre Dame should have been a lot better than they are, but they just haven't been able to put it together. I'm going to take the under 44.5. Clemson can't score very much, and Notre Dame has struggled recently too, so under 44.5.
So for your exact reasoning, I'm going with my gut and taking the opposite here. I'm taking 44.5 solely because I think this is a game that turns into a high-scoring shootout when it has no business being one.
So when it's a high-scoring shootout, who wins?
To be so honest with you, dude, I'm not going to be shocked if Clemson wins. Dabo's got a lot of heat on him this week. A lot of people are ripping him for being 4-4. They were talking on the Pat McAfee show about an interview with Mac Brown, and I think this kind of resonates of where Dabo Swinney's at right now. I guess he had a chance to interview or talk to Mac Brown once he left Texas, had some kind of conversation with him, and one of the points was you get so high in a fan base and at a school where you're just expected to win. So like September and October really don't matter at those schools, and you're just kind of expected to just be there every single year. I think this is where Dabo's at right now, and he's kind of feeling a little adversity. And I think he could save the fan base currently if he pulls out this win. And I think for him, actually, this is kind of a must win for him not to catch a lot of heat after this season. So actually, dude, I probably think Clemson wins this game.
All right, well, they need to. If they don't, they're going to be 4-5.
Yeah.
Which is insane to say after, 3 years ago they were on top of college football?
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to come be the OC at WVU, he can.
Yeah, we'll give you a job.
We'll take you, Dab.
Yeah.
We'll take you, Dab.
I mean, we'll make you some kind of assistant.
Yeah.
O-line, maybe.
Yeah. Quarterback coach, something like that.
Maybe not quarterbacks. The last 2 haven't been very good.
True that. All right, man. Anything else on college football you want to touch on?
Just waiting to hear what comes down for Michigan. Did you see the new thing?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on all this? We haven't really talked about it very much.
You saw he could have been on the Central Michigan sidelines.
And he had glasses on at night with it looked like glasses with a camera on in the corner.
I don't understand how Central Michigan hasn't come out and said that's not him. Like, their head coach today he was doing a press conference, and he's like, "Yeah, we're doing an investigation. We don't know. I'm leaving it up to them, and they're going to come out with whatever they find." The fact that they don't know who that is weird.
Which is a blatant lie, because I
true.
heard on, again, shout out, I don't care, I'll plug him every fucking time, the Pat McAfee show, Pete Thanel was on there, and I'm not talking about Ty Schmidt's Halloween costume, I'm talking about the actual Pete Thamel. He said that for people to be able to be on the sidelines like that, it has to be signed off by coaches and people.
Yes, but the head coach even addressed that. He said he wasn't on any of our lists.
So he probably used a fake name. But then again, that's even worse if they approved him to be on there.
Like, if he's still going to games and shit, that's bad.
But dude, also
he had a play sheet too. Like, he was acting like a coach. If that was him, we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. All of this is kind of weird to me. I mean, again, I get why it would be cheating, but I also get the point of all of these coaches are recorded one way or another on national TV too. I know the angle's not always on the coaches, but I don't know. I actually don't know how I feel about this, because it's weird that none of the Big Ten schools are fighting back at this. All of them seem like they don't give a shit, except Ohio State.
I think they all kind of want the headsets in the quarterback's helmet,
which they should be.
So I think they want to kind of push it that way. Like, this is the narrative we should take. Just put it in the helmets. This will never be a problem again. And also, I mean, if Michigan wins the Natty, don't they get paid too? The Big Ten schools?
Yeah.
Even if they make the playoffs, revenue sharing and all that shit.
Crazy digging that was done by DP.
What was that?
He said that Ryan Day's brother runs a investigative firm that is located around the Ann Arbor area.
Yeah, and they're saying that could have been the firm to look into it, and was the one who came out with it.
Weird. Seems like we got a little Ohio State Michigan beef going on.
Which, if Ryan Day did that and he's the one who put it into play, I kind of like him. Which I hate to say that.
I hate to say it too. I actually kind of respect that move. Win at all costs is kind of how I look at it. But also, I just really could care less about the Big Ten ultimately. No offense to any teams in there, any fans in there. I just don't watch the Big Ten.
It's boring football.
Yeah, I really don't care. And
for Michigan fans, if Ryan Day did that, you can't be mad at him, because he was just playing from the same playbook Harbaugh does.
That's a great point.
So,
it's a great point. All right, man. Let's move on to the NFL. I'll let you take the lead on this one.
I don't even know how I feel about the Steelers right now. We have a good record. We're still in the hunt for the division, but the offense is just so bad. And you sent me that clip earlier about that guy calling into McAfee's show.
Shout out Bones, whoever Bones is in Pittsburgh. Shout out.
I mean, he makes some points at some point. It's Tomlin. He's the head coach.
Dude, when he threw the stats out that you guys haven't won a playoff game since 2016, that surprised me.
I like Tomlin a lot, but eventually, you can't just be a mediocre team every single year. You got to get over that hump eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't dislike Tomlin as a person, but again, not being a Steeler fan, I've stated my thoughts on it. I think it's kind of wild how you can attack an offensive coordinator and, not at one point be like, all right, maybe it's the head coach. I think that's kind of weird.
I mean, he tied his job kind of to Matt Canada too, keeping him this year. and then still rolling with him through the middle of the year. Like he could have had a lot of good PR if he was like, it's not working, he's out. Like
Yeah.
anybody else come in, you're not going to change the offense. Keep it the same way, just like add in more shifts and just call better plays. Like right now it's fucking awful. Like Pickens, it seems like he's barely involved.
I worry for you guys in a sense of just from fandom, because I don't know how you guys got lucky and won those couple games early on, but like I don't know how you win any more games with the offense that you guys are running currently. I really don't.
I agree. And Bones even said, no, not Bones, but someone else on McAfee's show was like, we're like this when we're 4-3 or whatever we are. Imagine if we rattle off like 3-4 losses in a row, like how bad it's going to get.
Yeah.
People are going to want Tomlin's head. That's just how it goes.
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. I'm in a different position. I mean, I'm still sitting here at 3-5. You know, I had nothing to brag about. I just want to give my condolences to Patrick Mahomes, because I heard he must have been like the sickest human to ever play a sport ever. He was so sick that they forgot how to score touchdowns. He was so sick they just forgot how to play football. So it makes me sad that Patrick Mahomes was so sick, and I hope he can feel better. Because I guess he was the sickest human ever to play a sport, is what Kansas City fans are leading on. Sickest human ever to strap on a helmet. I mean, I know some guys that have had some great games. Flu game, ever heard of it? I think not trading anybody at the deadline says a lot about where the Broncos are at right now.
If they would have lost that game badly, it would have went a lot different.
If they would have lost that game badly, Cortland would have been gone, Judy would have been gone. Probably one or two other guys would have been gone. The fact that we won that game and they didn't make any moves shows me that they are all tight right now in the locker room. And that gives me hope, because their gauntlet that they're about to run into doesn't get any easier. Russ is playing incredible. You look at the stats statistically, he's one of the most sound quarterbacks in the NFL this year. Our offensive line is the problem. They played well last week. Our defense played incredible. Last place in the league. Defense sucks ass. Van Joseph locked it down. The defense played really good. You just got to keep building week by week. I'm going to stick to where I was at, saying that once we get to like week 14, 15, wherever it is, we can't lose more than 7 games. Once we lose more than 7 games, I'll hop off hope. But right now, I think things are slowly turning around, and I think that not this week, but next week, the Monday Night Football game against the Bills will tell a lot. And if we can somehow squeeze one out there, then I'm all the way back in. Like, even sitting at 4-5, I'm all the way back.
Oh, yeah, you're right there. About Mahomes, the only, like, sicknesses that I'll say, like, okay, like, that's tough. If you had the flu or if you had, like, food poisoning. Other than that, like, you play through it. You're a football player. Like, you've been injured a lot worse. Like,
if you're that sick,
you
don't
can put
play.
it up. Yeah.
If you're that sick, don't play.
Yeah, don't play then.
Because then don't come around and use that as an excuse when you lose.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I don't know. You and I are in similar boats in terms of records and stuff, but I feel like morale-wise, we're kind of on different paths. But football's a week-by-week thing. Things can change quickly. And as we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, we might as well walk our fine asses right into Frankfurt, Germany. First game of the slate is the Dolphins versus the Chiefs in Germany. I believe it's the first NFL game in Germany. The Chiefs are favored by 2.5, and the over-under is 50.5.
So is this an early game?
I believe so.
That's
early for us.
It's kind of fucked up that they make 2 of the best teams this year play in Germany.
Yeah, I don't think that was an accident, though, but I agree. I think it's odd. But I don't think that was an accident.
Typically for Europe games, you go under. With these 2 teams, though, I just can't. I'm going to go Dolphins plus 2.5. I love their offense, and maybe Mahomes is still feeling some sniffles, so never know.
I'm riding it with you. I mean, a guy that sick, there's no way that flying to Germany and playing in Germany is going to help. I think this has all the writing on the wall being a hell of a game, but I'm just going to be quote-unquote safe here and take a Miami plus 2.5 solely because Patrick Mahomes is as sick as he's ever been in his life. Next game, the new look Minnesota Vikings are heading to Hotlanta. Shout out Tiz. The Falcons are favored at home by 5.5, and the over-under is 37. Josh Dobbs at the helm. Kirk Cousins out.
He's not supposed to start.
Oh, that stinks.
It's going to be some rookie Jalen something, and the Falcons just benched Ritter for
what?
Taylor Heineke.
Oh, dude, I fucks with Taylor Heineke, dog.
So both quarterbacks stink, but Taylor Heineke, he can ball. I'm going to go under 37. I think this is going to be a dog shit game.
I only did this because you said Taylor Heineke was starting. I'm taking Atlanta minus 5.5.
But 5.5 is a lot with two shitty teams.
Agreed. I agree. But I know my man Taylor Heineke wants a new pair of shoes, and I'm pretty sure the purple Nikes will look sick once he beats the Vikings.
Yeah, and he's got weapons, more weapons than he had at the Commanders.
Shitstorm.
Yeah.
The shitstorm of a football team.
Yeah. So next game, Seahawks at Ravens. Ravens minus 5.5. Over under is 43.
Seahawks 5-2.
Geno.
Second in the NFC right now. I don't know, man. I mean, the Ravens just scare me because their offense, they can score points.
Yeah.
I'm riding with my boy, man. I'm taking Geno and the Seahawks plus 5.5. 12th man's going to roll into Baltimore, somehow squeak out wins. That's what Pete Carroll's done his whole career, and it's trickling down to the man Geno. I will be taking the Seahawks plus 5.5.
I'm taking the Seahawks too. Ravens just throttled the Lions, so they're going to be riding high. But I think it's going to come crashing down pretty quick, and it's going to be a close game. And 5.5 is too much. This should be like a 3 game.
I like it. All right, next game. Shout out the fearless leader. We got the Dallas Cowboys heading into Philly. Hopefully they don't wear the Kelly Greens. Philly is favored by 3. The over-under is 46. I'm gonna let you start this one, dog.
I hate picking NFC beast games.
Yeah, because they really can go. Normally they go either way, and lately it's been landslides either way.
I'm going to take the Eagles minus 3. I just don't trust the Cowboys at all. They can just throw up a dud any week. And did the Eagles just lose last week to the Jets? Was that last week?
That was two or 3 weeks ago. But
Okay.
yes, they did lose to the Jets.
They're
Zach Wilson's Jets, by the way.
Yeah, I'm still taking the Eagles minus 3.
I'm gonna be safe here. My gut tells me to take the boys, even though I know that it's just such a bad idea. So what I'm gonna do is if I know if I know Cowboys ball in a game like this, I'm gonna take the over 46.
You see Kenneth Gainwell tweeted or DM someone at halftime last game?
I did not.
He fumbled the ball sometime in the first half, and someone DM'd him, said something probably like, "You suck," and he DM'd him back at halftime.
Dude, why are people getting on their phones at half?
I don't
College
know.
or NFL? I think it's weird.
Like if
They locked in.
if you're on your phone during like the first an hour before the game till the end of the game, like that should be a fine through the team.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I did hear about a Philly DM, but I didn't hear the story until just now. That's absolutely insane. Hey, at least wait till the game's over.
Right.
Talk shit. All right, last game in the 10-10 here. We got the Buffalo Bills heading to Cincy. Joe Cool. The Bengals are favored by 2.5. The over-under is 48.5.
I'm taking the Bills plus 2.5. Bengals coming off a big win last week.
Quit. They're back. Just stop.
No, well, if
They're
they
back.
weren't playing the Bills, I would agree.
They're at home.
Okay. All right. They're at home.
I'm taking the Bengals.
I'm taking the Bills. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think the Bills squeak it out. And I think the Bills kind of this is a game where I think we might have said last week the Bills and Bengals, they can just turn it on at any moment.
It's kind of frustrating.
So the winner of this, I think, goes on a huge run.
Yeah, and hindsight, or not hindsight, but looking in the future, two completely different words. The Bills just got playoff Lenny, too. I don't think playoff Lenny will play this week, but I'm sure he'll play against the Broncos, so that'll be tough. All right, man. NFL slate's done. Anything else you kind of want to touch on in the NFL world?
No, nothing right now. I don't know of any other big headlines in the NFL.
Yeah, not a lot of big trades. I actually thought we'd see way more trades than we did.
They always talk it up like some big shit's gonna happen, and it didn't.
Yeah,
like Devontae Adams didn't get moved. The Jets called about him and even Mike Evans, and they turned him down.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of.
Which, why not trade Devontae Adams?
Well, because
I know they're cleaning house.
Because they picked their side. They picked talent over shitty fucking coaches and GMs.
And should they bench Jimmy G?
Jimmy G.
Which is
moving on.
crazy. They're starting Aiden O'Connell.
Dude, and their coach, dude, a baller when we were younger, Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, I mean, that can fire up a team the
That's
rest of the
sick.
year. Yeah. That might work out in their favor.
Dude, Antonio Pierce was a dog on the Giants.
He
bro.
was.
A dog. So, I don't know. I love to see, I know this is just showing age of us now, but I love to see old players that we used to watch become coaches.
They said his name as the new interim coach, and I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. And then I put it together once I saw his picture. I was like, oh shit, all right, I like that.
Yeah, it's tight. Even though fuck the Raiders, fuck them. Big weekend. It's a big weekend for the household. That man, Christopher Bell, number 20, the DeWalt and Ream Toyota, is the single Toyota that advanced to the championship 4 out in Phoenix. We got 2 Chevys, a Ford, and a Yoder. CB will be competing against Ryan Blaney, William Byron, and who am I missing? Kyle Larson. How can I forget Kyle Larson? 4 studs. This is the youngest of the age brackets of a championship 4, which is cool. Means the young guns are finally coming up. Here's all I have to say about the race. Love the Phoenix racetrack. Cars are going to be all over the place. All I hope is, this doesn't come down to points. I hope it comes down to one of the 4 win the race. I think the championship Sunday is way better when that happens, and I do believe that those 4 guys pretty much will probably be in the top 15 the entire race. Should be an electric factory of a race. Starts at 3 o'clock, and I'll be cheering my ass off for the man CB.
So this could come down to points. So is this a big team game? You ride with your team and they kind of block people for you?
That's why NASCAR gets interesting. It's nothing that anybody will ever vocalize strategically, but a NASCAR fan knows that that's kind of how it works. The only difference of it is if a guy wins the race that's outside the championship 4, he can win a shit ton of money. That's the thing.
Right,
you still can win. That was kind of the big thing at Martinsville last week with the lower race. The ending was electric. So there were 2 guys, Austin Hill and Creed were 1 and 2. Both of them were on the same team. Both of them were Richard Childress racers. Neither of them were in. They both had to win to get in. So they both ended up wrecking each other.
Oh, shit.
So neither of them got in, and they afterwards were ripping each other on in the interviews.
I mean, yeah, that's gonna happen.
Which that's why that's what I was saying on the lunch line. Make sure to tune in. Episode 2 out now. That's why racing's so cool. Being a casual race fan has to be hard if you don't understand what's happening, because yes, obviously cars are going around in a circle when yada yada. But once you start looking into it and realizing okay, there's teams, there's manufacturers, there's a lot of things that come down to who's working together, who you want to get behind, who you want to draft. I'm just hoping, since there's the Toyotas have the least amount of cars, that I just pray that if it comes down to it, the Toyotas rally behind my guy and help push Seabell to win.
Which they would. I mean, I think that's like an unspoken agreement.
Yeah. So I know all the Toyota guys love him, like Denny, Truex, Ty Gibbs, Bubba, Tyler Reddick. They normally all race each other clean. Toyotas do, at least. So I'm assuming next week I'll be in my DeWalt jersey, ready to cheer my ass off.
I might tune in. Like, if it's close and you text me towards the end, I might tune in.
Here would be my suggestion to people that don't watch NASCAR. Start tuning in with about 70 to 60 laps left. That's when you can tune in. You don't have to focus on it yet. Tune in, see what's going on. But once like the last 40 laps hit, it's must-watch television. Is where I'll leave it at that.
There was breaking news out there. Bob Knight just died.
No.
83.
Wow.
He's a legend.
He is a legend, dude. And for people that don't know who Bobby Knight is, just look it up. I mean, throwing chairs on the court.
That would never fly in today's game.
Absolute legend, man. Absolute legend. Wow. Rest in peace. That makes me sad.
You got anything else?
I do, actually.
Okay.
Francis Ngannou was robbed.
That's what I'm hearing.
I didn't see the fight. Listening to purists on both ends, it seems as if...
Because he knocked him down.
Knocked him down, and if you look at Tyson's face versus his face...
You have to do a rematch, I think, eventually.
Yeah. Well, again, you hate to sound this way, but Tyson Fury already had the December heavyweight fight signed with Usyk, and if he lost, that fight wasn't happening. There's no way big boxing was going to let that happen.
Yeah, true.
And the fact that it was a split decision even makes me feel even more that Francis Ngannou should have won. It wasn't even unanimous. It was a split decision.
Yeah, that's huge. And that looks awful for boxing.
Awful. Awful. But yeah, anything else?
No, I think that's all I got.
Me too. Well, as always, make sure to subscribe to the Juicebox YouTube. We thank you each and every week for tuning in, and I will let Brady close this out.
Follow me on Twitter, Brady_21_. Promise to do better than 3-7 this week. So tail my picks.